This is Mexico, except it's not Mexico. It's just some land right here. And now there's people, because of the land bridge. Oh, now it's gone. Guess we're stuck here. We should spread out, said the people, spreading out. They ended up in not yet Mexico right here. Guess we'll chill here and build things. Like heads. Big Olmec heads. And calendars. Big calendars. Big Olmec calendars. I wonder what else they'll build. Oh, now they're gone. It's a mystery. It's 100 CE and we found a lake. Lake Texcoco. There are Teotihuacans on Lake Texcoco. And they're real big. Egypt big. They built ziggurats, pyramids, and a social system and started sacrificing people so the gods wouldn't get salty. But the gods did get salty, and then they were gone. It's a nomads. Here come the Mayans with edgy agriculture. Edgy agriculture means more food, and more food means more people doing the same thing in the same place. And when people are doing the same thing in the same place, that's common culture. With writing in zero and death ball. It's 900 CE and they're gone. It's a mystery. Probably they went overboard with the edgy agriculture, though. It's the Toltecs. They're trading. Now their leaders are bad and they're falling apart, and it's the Aztecs, also known as the Mexica. Sounds familiar. They like killing people as a form of political terror, and maybe also religion. Some rich guy says, what if I had land and made the people of the land pay me? And the richest guy says, what if all of the rich guys pay me? And the poor get poorer and the rich get richer, and that's a tributary system. Their rulers are getting weaker, but they're still doing fine until Spain has reached the Americas. I repeat, Spain has reached the Americas. Not only have they reached the Americas, but they are ready to colonize. Hernan Cortez has better weapons and a whole lot of diseases to share. What if you give us your land to colonize, says Hernan. How about no, say the Aztecs. How about it doesn't matter, because you're dying of smallpox. And the Aztecs are gone. You know what's worth a lot of money in Spain? Silver. You know what there's a lot of in Mexico? Silver. They need people to work to get to silver and also on farm to grow cash crops and get rich, so they start enslaving the natives. A priest named Bartolome, who has a very confused idea about what humanity is like, wait, no, wait, the natives are people too. And the Spanish king is like, but who will get our silver and grow our crops so we can be rich? And Bartolome goes, black people? And then the church scooches on over and is like, hey, natives and slaves, do you want to hear about Jesus? And they become Christian because they didn't have a choice. Napoleon hops into Spain and is like, hey, I'm taking over. And Spain is like, wait, no, but not much is actually done about it. It's 1821 and there's a revolution building, and General Iturbide decides to fight for the rebels instead of Spain, and now Mexico is free. Kinda. The US wants Texas and Mexico wants Texas, and Texas just wants to chill, and that's when it's the Mexican-American War. The US wins. Santa Anna is a weird president who makes a real strict regime. Benito Juarez overthrows the new centralized regime that no one actually liked anyway, and now every man in Mexico can vote. Who cares about women, though? Napoleon III decides Mexico isn't actually free. He sends French troops, and attention, the French have the capital. There's a new emperor in Mexico, a Habsburg, and the French decide it's probably safe to withdraw their troops. Liberal rebels kill everyone. The French were wrong. Benito is back, and then he dies, and in 1876, Porfirio decides to be a dictator and destroy the Mexican economy. Hello, foreign investors. When the economy is stupid, peasants get poorer, and when peasants get poor, peasants get mad, and that leads to the bloody 10-year civil war. They elect a new president, but the peasants won't submit to the presidential rule. There's another revolution, and a dictator, who's actually very quickly replaced, comes to power. In 1914, three do things. Why don't we do it? And they rule Mexico together until there is another revolt and they start getting killed. World War I was in full swing and everyone was up in arms except for Mexico and a few other guys. Germany really wanted to beat the US, so they sent a telegram and were like, hey Mexico, if you could go to war with us, that would be amazing and we will love you forever. And Mexico was pretty taken aback by this. How dare Germany come at them when they're having their own revolution? So Mexico was like, hey Germany, that's actually super rude of you. We aren't going to war with the US because they're much bigger than us and we're kind of scared, but mainly because we're having our own revolution right now and it was incredibly rude of you to interrupt. Things are still crazy in Mexico after World War I, but this time they decide to put a guy named Zapata in charge. No, he got killed by a Jello dude named Carranza, and oh wait, he's dead too. Guess Obregón is in power, and the United States actually recognizes him, which means better agriculture, education, and culture. A dude named Caius takes over afterwards, but the people are like, Obregón, you are the goat, please come back. So he does, and some crazy religious fanatic is like, not today, and kills Obregón. After Obregón comes Cardenas, who's all about making the social system better and oil stuff. He even started redistributing land, and the US was like, sounds a lot like communism. We don't like you even if your people do. But it's fine because they like the next president, Camacho. He decides that the bombing of Pearl Harbor was officially not cool, trademarked. And the Axis powers were like, suck it. So Mexico goes to war, and spoiler alert, their side wins. In 1939, they joined the United Nations, so there will never be another world war. Anywho, a nice perk of the war is that Mexico is enjoying great industrial and economic growth. Knock knock, it's the PRI, and we want to dominate the political system for the next 50 years. Okay, says Mexico. So now we have the Partido Revolucionario Institucional. During pre-power, a crap ton of oil is found in the Bay of Campeche. Business is booming in Portillo. The president borrows a lot of money from foreign nations to make Mexico better. They have a ton of oil. Why should they worry about how to pay their debts? Oh wait, maybe you should have checked the quality of that oil first, because guess what? It's the worst oil. Now Mexico is in debt, as a #1 country with the world's largest foreign debt. By the mid-1980s, Mexico is in serious financial crisis. To make it worse, a giant earthquake strikes Mexico City. Then there's a hurricane in the Yucatan. Now people are mad, homeless, jobless, and mad. There are uprisings and movements filled with angry people, and the PRI is like, ah! Wait, something good is happening? This guy, and this guy signed the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. On December 8th, 1993, things are looking up. Selena did his best to make Mexico great again.
Started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
But in the end, too many people accused his people of corruption, and he was exiled in 1995. In 2000, the corrupt PRI finally take on a much-deserved L when they lose to PRD candidate Cardenas. They lose by a lot, by the way. Like it was a major L. Then Vicente Fox of the PAN party is elected president. This ends more than 70 years of pre-rule. I mean, it was gonna happen anyway. Low-key necessary. It's a new political era. It's 2002, and surprise, the government has been killing and murdering all along. Everyone is getting arrested, and there are protests, and in 2006, George W. Bush decides to build a wall. Fence. Sounds familiar.
I started off in Brooklyn. My father gave me a small loan of $1 million.
We're getting close to the present. You know what that means? Drug violence and social protests and the pre-returning to power and surges of migrant workers to the United States who's like, maybe not please, to which the migrant Mexicans and other Latin Americans who need to pass through Mexico say, there are no jobs and thousands of drug deaths here. Also poverty and corruption. But also tourism is booming and trade is getting better. So right now, Mexico's future is ambiguously gray.